Hey guys, I wanted to tell you about something pretty incredible. Just a year ago, I had never been farther west in the US than Indiana. I don't think I've ever been even out of the country, besides maybe SeaWorld when I was like 6, but I don't remember it. But I've always had a longing to travel the world and to just discover and adventure in all sorts of creation. But I mean, I was fresh out of college and had a lot of debt, and I didn't really know how I was going to do that. But sometimes we forget about God, sadly enough, and I certainly did. But this year, with just the incredible transformation that He's done, I wanted to share with you guys where I am right now. I am on the island of Kauai in the Hawaiian Islands. So just a year ago I would never ever have imagined that. In the past year I've been to California and I saw so many beautiful things there, and God really blessed me and began really my whole year of grace and transformation when I was staying there. And now I'm in Kauai, and so I want to show you guys where I'm staying right now, as well as a bunch of the beautiful places that we're going to be visiting. So this is my view every single morning. We got in late last night, so I didn't even really see any of the landscape. I was just like, wow, this is a very long dirt road and I've been up for 26.5 hours. I'm exhausted, let me go to bed. And then I woke up and saw all of this. Like, God is so incredible. It's still kind of hard to believe that I'm here and that He's brought me here, but you know what? I will totally take it, and I'm so excited for whatever He has for me and the friends that I'm with this week. We know that God speaks to us mostly through His Word, but I find it incredible how He speaks to us through the astonishing beauty of His creation. Myself and most of Kauai Bible College is on the top of a mountain called Sleeping Giant right now. We walked up before the sun rose. Well, I didn't quite get up before the sun rose, but that's okay because it's still amazing. And we are all at the top right now, just soaking in all of the beauty. Isn't that incredible? I am in Hanalei, Kauai today, and we just finished a lot of really cool adventures. We went to this place called Queen's Bath, which is basically like a pool of water that the ocean kind of filters into, but it's really warm and safe. And Mermaid's Lagoon, which is a little bit of like teeny tiny cliff jumping. But what we did just now is like legit cliff diving into the ocean. We jumped off of a 30-foot cliff into rather turbulent waters, I would say. And I can't see the cliffs from here, but let me tell you, doing that put the fear of God into my soul, and oh man, it was terrifying. It was my first time like really legit cliff jumping, and the jump itself wasn't what was scary, although I may have screamed a little bit, but getting into the water and just having to kind of go with the flow with the waves, and the possibility of getting knocked into the very not smooth rocks, and just fighting the waves to get back up onto a ledge. I'm not a panicky person, but that was very terrifying to me. Before I was able to get up, I was starting to like lose breath and lose strength, and I was like, ah, like what if I am not able to get back up on this? So I was just like, help me Jesus, help me Jesus. But with the help of a friend, I did get back up. Took me a while to get my breath back, but I am safe and sound once again. But just doing that, kind of facing what I found to be death in the face, just made me think of God, and well, first off, how I needed Him to save me. But also, like, the ocean is so incredibly powerful, and I love it. I love living near the ocean. I love being here in Hawaii and just having the ocean all around. But it is powerful and wild and untamable, and very terrifying in situations like that. But it just made me think, you know what, God so much bigger. And if he is the one who made the oceans and made all their currents and the power and the beauty of it, and he is the one that I serve, then some waves don't have to terrify me quite so badly. So, little thought of the day amidst a somewhat scary adventure, but he is good. I'm still here. Audrey and I are driving up the Waimea or Waihikamiki or Wanahakalugi Canyon, one of those. And on one side of the road we have all of the mountains and the beginnings of the canyon running through, and on the other side we have all of this. It's so beautiful. You can see there are even like a couple other islands out in the distance. I don't know what islands they are. We're on the west side, so whatever is towards the west part of Kauai. But it says in Isaiah about how the islands are just fine dust to God. And to think that like all of this, like the red dirt and all the grass and the trees and the ocean and the mountains and everything on this island, like they're just dust to God. Everything that we find so beautiful, it is just dust to him, and it just shows like how huge and marvelous and mighty and sovereign he is. So I just think that that's so cool, and it's so beautiful up here. It's absolutely splendid. It's a good place to be if you love Jesus. It's good. This trip has done so much towards teaching us about God's beauty. It's just everywhere we've been, everything we've seen, everything we've experienced has just been permeated with the beauty of God. And that in itself has been so awesome. But another thing this trip has really taught me is a lot about thankfulness on a lot of different levels. Going home, I am going to be so much more thankful for just regular, normal, everyday commodities, like having clean running water, having a shower open anytime I want to take a shower, to having a car, just being able to be close with my family and my church family, and most importantly, clean toilets. I'm going to be so thankful for those. So that's one way that I've really learned a lot about thankfulness this week. Another, on a deeper level, is being really thankful for God's mercy and His grace through ways that I don't even really know how to explain. God has just showed me that even in our own sin and our own falling short, He is so merciful to us. And even when He's like, hey, you did wrong, you need to get back on the right track with this, He's so merciful and gracious when doing it, so that I felt like really humbled, but I haven't felt like God was this like overbearing tyrant or anything. I just felt like, okay, like I'm sorry, I need to get right about this. So this trip has certainly taught me a lot so far, and I'm looking forward to whatever's next. It is our last evening in Kauai, and this week has been jam-packed with all kinds of adventures and beauty and fellowship and all sorts of really crazy awesome stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I am excited to be going back home, but I'm so thankful for this week and everything that I experienced and everything that God has shown me and taught me during my stay here. One thing that I wanted to share that I've actually been thinking about now and then this entire trip is actually something that I thought of on the initial plane ride over in the first place, and then it's just kind of been going through my head every now and then. Like, God's really cool. One of the reasons He's so cool is because He's kind of circular in His miracles and in the way He does things. 30 years ago, my dad was stationed at Schofield Barracks on Oahu, and in his circle of friends, he had a Christian friend. And exactly 30 years ago, this year, 1985, that friend of my dad's led him to Christ. So I was just thinking about that and thinking, like, how cool is it that my dad was saved while he was in Hawaii, and 30 years later his oldest child is here after a transforming year of learning about God and just being changed and just learning about God's mercy and grace and His goodness. So I just thought that was really, really cool, and that God brought me here as well. And obviously He's not done with me, He's not done with my dad, He's not done with any of us until we get to where He is. But I just thought that was really, really cool. This week, even though I'm on vacation and everything, and I'm in just such a gorgeous, gorgeous place, this week has been full of a lot of distractions. Just being so far from my family and everything that I've ever known, and missing a lot of first world commodities, there have been a lot of distractions, and at times I've kind of lost focus on being present, which is something that I really try to do, because I don't really want my mind to be somewhere else while I'm somewhere. But that has happened pretty often this week. So a couple nights ago, I realized that, I needed to get back on track with just where I was and where I was with God. So I just kind of went away from everyone else on campus, and just sat out looking at the mountains, and I just worshipped and prayed for a little while, and just kind of asked God to redirect my focus to Him rather than on distractions and whatnot. So that was good. And He's just so good. The only reading material that I packed for this week was my Bible, and then this book that I've been reading about the miracles in the book of John. And just reading about miracles and just like all the intricacies and subtleties of how God works in them, just really has been awesome to think about, and has helped with some of those distractions. Just this morning, I had gone to bed and then woken up kind of feeling a little doubtful about some things that God had been speaking to me. So I don't think I even prayed about it, but God still spoke to me. And over the course of the day, He's just repeated to me that things that I'm worried about and things that get to be distractions just from taking my focus off of God, just because I'm like, God, how is this gonna work out? He just said to me over and over again today, I will make a way. So that's really cool, and I feel like that really ties this whole week together. He made a way for my dad while he was stationed here, to bring my dad to himself, to God. And while I have been here, He's made a way for me to come back to Him, to just remember who He is, and why I came here initially, to experience Him and worship Him and grow closer to Him. So, circular stuff. It's good. So, this trip has been one big adventure, and I am excited to go home, but I'm very, very thankful to have been here this week. May someone be inspired and God be glorified.